Hey everyone, it's Carson here, back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the FAA's brand new safety knowledge test, which goes by the name TRUST. And TRUST is an acronym that stands for the Recreational UAV Safety Test. This is a test that gets you a certification that looks exactly like this, and it is something that you will have to be taking now if you are somebody who flies a UAV for fun. So, if you're watching this video and that applies to you, then you're probably wondering, what the heck is this and why haven't I not heard of it yet? Well, it just came out a couple of days ago, and in this video I'm going to be answering all the questions that may be coming to your mind right now, as well as laying down a bunch of the facts surrounding this test. And even at the end of this video I'll be showing you the test itself, I'll be talking about how you can take it yourself, and just showing you some of the questions that are on it so you don't have to go in fearful of what this exam looks like. With that said, let's go and begin talking about some of the facts and questions surrounding this test. To start, you may be asking yourself, how much does this test cost to take? And the good news is that this is actually an entirely free test. The FAA doesn't want to make anybody go and pay for it because they want a low barrier for entry as far as this test goes. So the good news is that it is fee-free, it's completely free, and there is a long list of providers that have been designated by the FAA which will go and give these tests for you. So you should not be seeing anywhere where you have to pay. And if you're looking throughout the internet trying to find a place to take this test and you stumble across somewhere that goes and tries to get you to pay for the certification, just avoid them. You should not be having to pay for this test. Number 2, this test is not limited to age groups. It's actually available to anybody from age 0 to 100. It is meant for anybody who is flying a UAV to take it. So if you're younger and you're thinking you don't have to take this, you do actually still have to take this, and even if you're older, you've got to take it as well. Number 3 is a question you're probably asking yourself right now, and that is, do I have to take the TRUST test? And the answer to that is probably yes. More than likely you will have to probably take this if you are flying a UAV for fun, or in other words, recreationally. Then you will have to take this test before going out and flying for your first time. The reason for that is so then you have this certificate to provide an officer or an FAA agent if you are ever questioned, just to prove that you have taken the test and know what is on it. This is something that you still have to take even if you are a Part 107 commercial pilot's license owner. At least if you ever plan on using your UAV for any purpose that is beyond commercial use, which you probably fly for fun from time to time, so you will still have to take this even if you are a Part 107 holder like myself. Believe me, if you're a Part 107 holder and you're looking at this and thinking, why do I have to take this? I've already taken a test before. Well, it's really not that difficult, and it takes very little time to actually take, so it's definitely worth your time to go and take it so you don't get caught up in the moment and get in trouble for not taking it in the future. Number 4 is, what does TRUST actually cover device-wise? I've been saying UAV very generally, but UAV actually encompasses drones, it covers fixed-wing aircraft, it covers helicopters, it covers pretty much anything that you are flying that has a remote controller that flies in the air. So even the little helicopters that you can buy from like the store, like Walmart or Target or something like that, you still have to go and take this test in order to prove that you are knowledgeable about airspace and all the rules regarding RC things that are flown in the air. So if you're wondering if this is something that only pertains to drones or something like that, that's not true. And even if you're somebody who has something like a Mavic Mini or a Mini 2 or something like that that is less than 250 grams, and you're thinking, I don't have to register my drone, I don't have to take this test either. That's not true. They're actually completely different things. So even if your device itself is less than the registration limit, which is 250 grams, you still have to take the test even if it's below that. So having a lighter drone like that is not just a way of getting out of taking this test. It's really not that bad, so I don't think you should have to worry too much about it. Number 5, how frequently does the certificate go and expire? Well, the good news is that this actually never expires, so you don't have to go and ever retake the test ever again. However, there is a but with that, and that is that if you happen to lose this certificate, you will have to go and retake the course in order to get it again. And the reason for that is because providers are not storing your certificate. So whenever you take it, you get it downloaded onto your device and printed or whatever you do with it. That is really the only time you ever see that certificate. There's no other way to get it back ever again. So always keep a double copy of your certificate so you don't have to end up taking the test again. So you only have to take it once. But if you do happen to lose it, then you will have to go and take it again. But otherwise, it does not ever expire. So it's great to know that you don't have to go and take this again in the future. Number 6, PII is not stored by any of the providers. PII stands for Personally Identifiable Information. And going back to the fact that the providers don't cache your actual certificate, that goes with your information as well. Once you sign up to go and take the test, after you're done with your test and you get your certificate, the providers are required to go and dismiss all the information and delete all the information they have on you because they are not keeping your information. So if you're getting any emails after taking the test on a provider site or something like that, I would go ahead and report that to the FAA because they're not supposed to be doing that. This is not just a marketing ploy for these companies. This is not something that they keep your information on, so it's completely secure and that your information isn't just stored by the FAA after doing this. Number 7, what are the penalties for not taking this test? What if you want to go and just risk it and not take the test? Well, currently this did just come out, like literally maybe less than a week from the time that you're actually seeing this video if you're watching it right after it's released. So this is a very new thing, and my assumption is that since it's so new, this is probably something that the FAA and local law enforcement will have a bit of a leniency for the certificate itself for a period of time, probably around a year to a year and a half, until they actually start really enforcing it. Because right now, most people don't even know about this. They haven't taken it. They haven't even had the opportunity to learn about it. So it will take some time for the information about this to get out with word of mouth and through manufacturers, including it in manuals and stuff like that. So right now it's not being enforced, but once it is enforced, it can be enforced by police officers or FAA agents, different people like that in authority who may be questioning you about your flight if you're flying recreationally in the future. So right now, I wouldn't be too worried about it, but I would still just knock it out of the way right now while it's fresh on your mind, so then you don't have to worry about it in the future, and you've always got it in your back pocket when you are flying. Number 8, which is a question of what if I fail the test? Well, the good news is that this is actually a test that is not just pass-fail. You take it, and it's more rather a training than it is a test. And the reason for that is this is just training people to learn all of these things about flying UAVs. It's mostly common sense, but a lot of it also is things that you probably didn't know before if you're new to flying UAVs. So it's more of a training in my eyes than it is a test, because every single question that you go through on the test itself, you have to answer it until you get it right. So it doesn't go in docu points or anything like that. If you happen to get a question or two wrong, or even every single one of them wrong, you just are supposed to answer until you get it correct. So there's no possibility of failing this test. You just take it to retain information, and they're really just looking to train you on what is in this. So then you can go and actually learn what's there, so you're not just out there flying and crashing into planes and crazy things like that that some people actually have done with drones, which is just insane. And number 9, does this apply to me if I live outside of the United States? Right now, it does not. So if you're somebody who's an international viewer of mine, then don't worry. At least right now, your country more than likely does not have this, at least probably not specifically the trust, although you should most definitely look at your local laws and regulations because that can vary, and I don't want to be the one who's telling you that it's not there when it really is. But at this current point in time, it's just the United States that falls under this FAA requirement to take the trust test. And with that said, at this point, I'm going to now be moving into the actual test itself and showing you some of the questions on it and everything like that. But first, I do want to hop into a quick segue to a quick word from this video's sponsor, Skillshare. If you're someone who miraculously has not heard of Skillshare before, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey by learning. Whether it be photography, aerial videography, productivity, web development, YouTube success, or or an endless number of other topics, Skillshare is the absolute best platform to expand your skills and gain a deeper knowledge on the things that you already love learning about. For me personally, I've really enjoyed Marques Brownlee's, or MKBHD's, recent class called YouTube Success: Script, Shoot, and Edit Video, which is an absolutely fantastic class that teaches you all the different facets of creating videos for YouTube. And I found many things inside of that course to be very valuable and things that I will continue to use throughout my content creation in 2021. Skillshare is always launching new premium classes that are entirely ad-free and available on the platform for less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Members get unlimited access to Skillshare's entire catalog of content, so consider joining today, because thanks to Skillshare, the first 1,000 of you guys to sign up using the link in the video description below will now get 30 days of unlimited free trial access to Skillshare's premium membership. So consider joining today and begin learning the things that you want to learn about. Thanks Skillshare as always for supporting the channel, and on that note, let's take a look now at the trust test. Alright, and so in an effort to go through this relatively quickly, I might be breezing through it a little bit, but of course you can go and check this out yourself. But just to give you an idea of what this actually looks like, as I mentioned before, there are a list of the given providers right now who are approved to administer this test. Currently there are 16 on the list, ranging from Boy Scouts of America all the way to other companies that you may have heard of, like Drone Launch Academy or Pilot Institute or UAV Coach. I decided to go with Drone Launch Academy, so all you got to do is click on them, click on that, and then you will be taken immediately to the Trust website. So here you can click on Take the Trust Exam Now, and from here it will ask you your email address as well as some information about you, and that's just simply because it wants to go and be able to actually send you the certificate once you are done. Once you put in your email address and your name, you will have to create a password just so then you don't lose the progress of what you've been working on, and having this will allow you to go back and actually access this later, just within the first couple of days, I'm assuming, when you have taken it. But of course you can't go back and actually access the certificate later, like I mentioned before. As you can see now, this is what the course actually looks like on dronelaunchacademy.com. There are a variety of sections here, breaking apart the content into manageable chunks. It really should not take that long. They say that it will take around 30 minutes to complete, and if you're a brand new person into this drone space or UAS space, then it may take you around 30 minutes just to go through, read all the content, and comprehend it. But for me personally, it only took me around 14 minutes to get through everything. And that was just skimming through the reading content and taking the little tests along the way. And here you go. This is what the content of the course looks like on dronelaunchacademy.com. They do have a couple of different parts here that allows you to go through and get into the sections in manageable little chunks. They say that going through this will take around 30 minutes, but if you are somebody who's already taken the Part 107 before, or you've been flying drones or UASs for a while, then this should be a breeze to go through. However, if you're new to the space and doing things like this, then it may take you a little bit longer, and it probably will take you around 30 minutes to complete. For me personally, it took me around 13 minutes total to complete everything. Go through, just skim through the text that there is to read, and then taking the little knowledge check tests along the way in order to test my knowledge of the sections. And when it comes to those knowledge checks, which is the actual test itself, then this is what it looks like. So you'll go through and just answer questions. So a recreational flyer is a person who only flies their UAS for fun. So that's of course the correct answer. So when you click submit, you'll get a that's right. So I can continue on. Another question here I've got is: a recreational flyer does not need an airspace authorization in which type of airspace? We're going to say that you don't need it in controlled. I know that that's wrong, but just to show you what happens when you answer a question wrong, it'll come up and it'll say that you are incorrect. Controlled airspace surrounds many airports and requires an FAA airspace authorization prior to flight. So when you click continue, as you can see, it does not move on. So you can choose the correct answer, click submit again, and once you've got it correct, it'll move you on to the next question. And that's how every single test question is. Obviously, there's a lot here to go through, so I can't just cover everything, but believe me, it really is worth it to read through everything. It's very insightful information to learn about, and if you're somebody who likes flying UASs and stuff like that, like, it's just totally worth it in my book to learn about all the safety things that you should know when you're flying something that could literally crash into a plane or something that could cause a lot of injuries to others. So I would highly recommend taking it, especially if you're on the fence about it and thinking that you're just gonna go on by without taking it. It's really not that bad, and it does not take that much time whatsoever. So get on taking it yourself by using some of the links down in the description below, where you can find some of the testing sites around on the internet for you. And there you have it. That is the FAA's Trust. I really hope you found the information in this video valuable. If you did, make sure to share this video around to let others know about it. Also, if you liked this video, make sure to let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below, as well as subscribing for future videos like this from me. Also, you can check out some of my previous videos by clicking one of the boxes over there. But with that said, that is it for this one. I really hope to see you in the next video. Peace.